Are you Tony Stark?
So I'm not Tony Stark for a couple big reasons. First of all, Tony got out of building weapons for the military, which was a big mistake, and he fought it. This was one of my big ideological beefs with Tony. He decided to become a vigilante rather than working with the United States military. And then people will point and say, but Palmer, the military stole his suit, XYZ. Yeah, after Tony basically said, I'm a walking nuke and I'm not gonna give you access to it and go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
It's not the approach I would have taken. So now he got later, he basically got helped by the colonel into, building War Machine and handing it over to the United States and allowing them to be part of it. But, I'd say that's the big difference with me is Tony Stark believes that use of violence should belong to the individual vigilante. I build tools that I believe should be in the hands of the U.S. military. I believe that the U.S. military should have a monopoly on violence. I don't think that we should have random superheroes. I love the idea of being Tony Stark. I want to get in my Iron Man suit and go kill some terrorists. But I also recognize that if you're going to be in the business of killing people, the people doing the killing have to be directly accountable to the electorate and to voters. And the only way to do that is to have it happen through the military. So that's the biggest difference between me and Tony. Tony wants to do it himself and he doesn't trust anyone to use his technology more than him. Yeah, he only trusts himself, basically.
Yep.
I build tools that I am trusting the US military to use appropriately and correctly.
Have you built an Iron Man suit?
I've actually built a lot of weirdo exoskeleton stuff and armor stuff over the years. Unfortunately, we're probably never going to have a major military program based on powered exosuits like that.
You see it from time to time, jetpacks and all that.
So jetpacks for sure. I actually totally believe in
board boats.
So that's I think you're talking about Gravity Industries. I'm very, very familiar with the Gravity guys. Mm-hmm. What they're doing is really cool. And there might be some stuff that we're doing together. So they're very cool guys. Jetpacks are very cool. And actually, by the way, I've built some of my own small flying machines. I was building something called Jet Boots before Gravity, back when I was living in the Bay Area. I never turned into a company, but I did build a couple prototypes just myself. It was a small flying machine that basically, it was like a set of boots with built-in micro turbines that allowed you to fly around and then land on the ground and just step out of it. Anyway, it was a really cool system, but the problem with exosuits is that if you have technology that's good enough to augment a person and make them stronger and faster and bulletproof, and it's good enough to overcome all of that weight.
Why involve the person?
You got it exactly right.
Yeah.
You just have the robot go in.
Yeah.
Person's useless.
And in fact, the person's not only useless, he actually makes the problem harder, right? Because now I have to not only be strong and fast, I have to protect this body of meat inside. Like with a robot, I can put all my most critical machinery into a tiny core and wrap that in armor. People have vulnerabilities everywhere. Like if I were building a robot that needed to do what a person does, the arms can be like these spindly structures, and you want to have redundancy. Like let's say you get shot in the arm, you want to have a bunch of redundant struts so I can get shot in the arm like 10 times. My arm
and
stays.
it just spins.
Takes
the momentum.
Or just blows holes in it. Literally, imagine my arms, it's literally like getting holes blown in it, but it still works because of redundancy. Basically, like a robot, I could shield the critical components with a little bit of armor, and the rest can all be just redundant and
sounds
lightweight.
like something you should be working on.
No, I think
maybe, but like a person, we have critical failures everywhere. Like you can shoot me in the arm, and I'll die from that. You can shoot me in the shoulder, and I'll die from that.
Yeah.
You can shoot me in the chest, in the gut,
pretty much
we're the worst. A lot of big sneakerheads on this podcast. Speed, Patrick Mahomes, me, even Mike. Sneakers are very important to us, and when it comes to feet, eBay has got your back. When I train for WWE, my sneakers are important to me. They help me feel unstoppable. I'm jumping off the top rope, whether it's Adidas, Solomon's, a classic pair of Air Force Ones. eBay is keeping an eye out on what's coming next. With eBay Authenticity Guarantee, real experts are checking your sneakers, every single stitch down to the sole. So whatever you're adding to the lineup next, go to eBay. From the drop to your doorstep, eBay doesn't play games with your sneaker game. Just look for that blue check mark. The sneakers you love, checked by experts. Ensure your next purchase is the real deal. Visit ebay.com for terms. Back to the show. Do people like Ninja, Fortnite Professional, become more valuable when we have weapon systems, specifically like avatars minus a human flesh puppet that they can control? Like if I have a ninja type gamer controlling an android human being-esque robot, I feel like that's like a recipe for success, violent success.
It honestly depends on the genre.
Okay.
So I would say Twitch FPS style sensory motor skills are not actually what you need, because that's actually handled by the AI. So like the final targeting. Imagine you have a drone, like a Roadrunner. Roadrunner is this twin turbojet, thrust vectored, vertical takeoff
One
and
of
landing
your
microfighter. It's like a tiny fighter jet that can maneuver extremely fast, extremely high Gs.
Main goal is?
So the main goal is to take out other drones and other aircraft that are threatening you. So it's basically like a tiny fighter that can go out and intercept other guys who are coming.
Using Lattice as a brain.
Using Lattice as a brain and as a pilot. And the thing is, no offense to Ninja, Ninja doesn't have what it takes to pilot. No, look.
Clip it.
He is going to be pissed you said that.
Look. The thing is, Roadrunner, when it's flying at a target, it's flying at hundreds of miles an hour. And you have a target, like an enemy aircraft is going to be a tiny speck. He's maneuvering, and I'm going to need to fly at him and find him and track him. And I might need to maneuver at over 10 Gs to hit him.
Yeah.
A person can't
No,
react.
no,
to
No,
that.
he actually cannot do that.
And also, like, I don't know if you're really like human perceptual system. We think there's no latency. Like our perceptual system makes us think that we're living in the moment. You are about 250 milliseconds behind reality. You're like a quarter second behind. Your brain just doesn't perceive it.
For sure.
Whenever anyone tells me to live in the moment, I'm gonna hit them with that.
You should. Like, and like if an explosion goes off, you don't know about it until a quarter second later.
Damn.
And so if I'm trying to track something and then he does something unexpected, I can't even begin to react till a quarter second later. So that's the problem is people just can't compete with AI. But what they can do is they can manage what these systems are doing. I'd say Twitch FPS, wrong genre. StarCraft, that's more like it, where you're thinking tactically, you're thinking, where do I need my systems to be? What do I want to do here? What's my strategic objective? Where do I want to pre-position my assets? Those types of gamers, I actually do think are going to have, and in fact, honestly, a lot of people we work with in the military, they are really hardcore gamers. They're not like Ninja. You've never heard about them.
Yeah.
They're never ending tournaments.
Yeah.
But there are people in the Air Force, like in the Air Force, in the Army, in the Marine Corps, the guys who are in charge of, for example, ground-based air defense. They are basically playing the world's highest stakes video game.
Hey guys, if you like that clip, hit the subscribe button. And if you want to see more zany clips, click the video right here.